snake for you. Listen, there's an explanation as to why I have this top on. We had somebody stay with us and she just had a bunch of clothes that she was gonna throw away. She asked me if I wanted them, and usually I'm very particular. I'll never take clothes from people. Actually, I'm feeling a bit like, should I have put this on? And I had a great idea. I'm gonna wear it in my chat corner video and then I'm gonna give it to charity. So I've got a bunch of like stuff that I'm gonna wear for the next few weeks that she gave me, and then I'm gonna give it to charity, because I don't think I'm ever gonna wear this ever. Because who wants to look like a snake? Like, who came up with that? Pretend to be a snake. That's quite sad. Anyways, welcome back to another video. I thought I'd give you all of my handles today because I've never done that before, and I'm gonna try and point at the screen. I don't know if like my editing skills are that great, because like sometimes you try and move things and they don't move, and it's like, why do you not move? Why can't I just drag you? And I don't have an angel there to like answer all of my questions. Anyway, follow me on Instagram at Nayna Santana X. Follow me on YouTube, Nayna Santana, or this channel, Nayna's Chat Corner. God, like, why does it feel so weird to say my name over and over again? Follow me on TikTok. So I've got 2 TikToks. One of my TikTok is just like dancing, and then the other one is like little snippets of my chat corner and my singing. So that one is Nayna Santana Music, and then the other one is Nayna Santana XXX. Actually, it's not 3 X's, it's 2 X's. Nayna Santana XX. Fun fact, my surname is not Santana. Oh wait, you could also find me on Facebook, but I don't know who goes on Facebook anymore because I just post on there and I never scroll on there because I don't like it scrolling on there. Actually, I don't scroll anywhere apart from Instagram. It's the only place I scroll is Instagram and YouTube. What was I saying? Yeah, I totally forgot what I was talking about. Anyways, I've got a juicy video for you today. We're going to talk about sex before marriage. I want to rock your boat a little bit. I know that there's like a huge division in the world, and then not so much here and there, but for the most part, we either do not believe in that whatsoever, or we're here defending to the death that we should be waiting for sex before marriage. Huh? What did I just say? We should be waiting for sex before marriage. But let's come together a little bit. Let's stop being so separated with all these opinions and stuff. Like, let's just come together and think alike. I'm so tired. I've been having some really bad nights of sleeps lately. So I came across a post on Instagram, and this couple, I liked what he was wearing for his wedding. They waited until their wedding day to kiss. So they were waiting until their wedding day to have their first kiss because they didn't want to entice each other, you know, sexualizing each other. And he'd never even kissed anybody before, or maybe he hadn't had sex with anybody before, and she had. So she didn't want to entice each other. I think they were together for like a year and a bit before they got married, and they didn't kiss, so then they wouldn't entice each other to break the rule of sex before marriage. And I was like so scared for them because, and then in her vow she was like, oh, we're about to have our first kiss, and then like he started laughing, she started laughing, and I can't help but like emotionally read people, and I started feeling really panicky, like, because I just feel like in the world there's so many people who are not sure of their sexuality. They're too scared like to admit what it is that they want to play with, what they don't want to play with, and they're just scared, so then they go with things, and then like I always feel like that's like hidden in a lot of people, like that's what's going on. I don't know if I'm talking cryptic here because I'm not being very transparent with what I'm saying. Anyways, and then I went on the comment section because I was like, surely a lot of people are going to be like, what? What if you don't like his kiss? What if you don't like his taste? What if you don't like this and that? And you've like gone and married this man. And then like, and so then I understood when I went into the comment section, because there's loads of people who agree with this type of situation, because they prioritize and they give importance to non-physical connections. They give importance to emotional security, emotional this or family or things that make you safe, rather than the chemistry, the connection, the sex, the kiss, because they believe that this is what God wants. That God wants you to partner with people for the safety of connection. I'm not really sure what they think God wants, right? But it's all to do with God. Anyways, let's dive into this conversation. what does God want for you to do? I think there's a really small percentage of people who want to wait to after marriage to have sex that don't believe in God. The whole purpose of waiting for after marriage is because that's what God apparently tells you to do. And I don't know what is up with this thing of like pleasure is only allowed in this circumstance. You must be united with somebody forever before you could experience pleasure. Otherwise it's a sin. I'm so sorry that I speak like this because like, I'm telling you, like people in the comment section gives me a headache at how much people argue with each other, and then here I am being one of those people that are kind of talking in a mocking way, and I don't want to talk in a mocking way. At the same time, I do have my opinions of like, so what, God doesn't want you to do that? And then I know that me talking like that is gonna be like, well, you're mocking me because I believe that God talks like that. So I don't know like how to talk without like mocking and being argumentative, because those people in the comment section, they really give me a headache. Like this whole world is so like divided, and I just want to go to sleep forever because I don't like this. This is very tiring. Oh no. I'm going through a really difficult time in my head right now. Anyways, God is telling you that you're not allowed to have pleasure, sexual pleasure, without being united with somebody forever, intended forever, before you experience sexual pleasure. I have a lot to say to that, but let's go through my points because I'm gonna get to that. And then I came across another video that was talking about body counts, right? And how like men want you to have small body count. Those of you who don't know, body count means how many people have you had sex with? How many people? Give me your number. The male is like 20 and then the female is only like 2. And that's what they expect. Or the male is like 10 and the female is like 1. You know, and if the male has had less than a female, then the male feels like he's not a male because the female has had sex more times with different people than he has, and so that he feels inadequate and less experienced than her. And then this video was talking about like, why do these men have insecurities like that? And it turned out that men are being a bit more transparent and honest about why it matters. It matters to them because they feel inadequate to the experience. So if you've experienced more men, it means that you're more aware of what good sex is, of what bad sex is, and so then they feel inadequate measured up to what your experience is. So because you might have had like a great lover, and the chances are is that you had a great lover if you've had sex with like 10 people, then if you had sex with 2, then they don't have much to measure up to, and they want to like be the best in your world. So instead of that mentality, like the video was saying, I forgot what video it was, I don't even know the name of things, I never memorize names of nothing, I just come across them, I watch them. And the video was saying that instead of this mentality, you should just be willing to learn, be willing to be vulnerable, be willing to be honest. Like, I'm insecure that I'm not going to be good enough for you. And you know, 9 times out of 10, when a woman is kind and she's in love with you, because I don't know why women are not kind sometimes, but that's not my experience of me being a woman. If I love you, which obviously I have to love you if I'm going to let you in my bedroom, and if I love you or fall in love with you, I'm going to be patient with you. Even if you're rubbish, I'm going to be like, let's learn, because I love you, especially if I'm attracted to you, and the worst thing for a woman is a guy who comes too fast. And again, if you do that, I'm not going to fall out of love with you because I'm in love with you anyways. I don't know why I'm going down this road because I'm supposed to be talking about sex before marriage, but I'm just saying that the body count part is to do with insecurity apparently, and not to do with anything else. But instead they say that women shouldn't have sex a lot because you have a precious temple. Like what? I wouldn't say it's a precious temple, you know? It's a vagina. Like, yes, my vagina is like beautiful and I love it and it's warm and it makes you feel good. Like, yeah, it has all these perks to it, but why do you have to make it special? Unless your penis is special also, but we're only putting it on the female, not on the male. Like, if my genitals are special, so are yours. If your genitals are not special, nor are mine. Why is mine special and yours is not? Like, they're genitals, so they belong in the same department. So okay, if I'm gonna see my vagina as a temple, then your penis is also a temple because it's genitals. And then also, these men, I'm so sorry that I'm like generalizing here, but these men who are like, yeah, your vagina's sacred, you should only let me have it. You're going around having how many of them? How does that work out? Because if you've had 10 and they've had 10 and they've had 10 and she's only had one, like, who are you guys having sex with? Because you're having loads of temples and she's only having one penis. So how does that work out? Unless these women are lying and they're having loads of penises and they're pretending they only had one. And so then we're playing a pretend game. But I know a lot of women are not like that. They literally only have one penis. Maybe the guys who go around having loads of temples, maybe they're all sharing those temples. So then basically you're all having sex with the same girl. It kind of makes me angry, the thought of like the guy saying, oh, you have a temple, you shouldn't have too many men in there. Meanwhile, you're going around putting your penis in loads of different temples. What? How does that make sense? Shouldn't you be like, is my penis worthy of this temple? Should I be thinking about what temple I put my penis in? Because they're all important, aren't they? So why are you putting your temple in there if you're not worthy of it? And then also, why are you abandoning the temple afterwards? Like, shouldn't you be respectful if the temple's like special? If it's sacred, should you not like, I'm gonna put my penis in this temple, I better treat it sacredly for the rest of my life? Like, not just like abandon the ship, like what? Well, it wasn't that sacred, was it? Otherwise you wouldn't like abandon it. I think the history of like sex before marriage is because I think it was a bit of immaturity, a bit of fear, like I need to make sure that only I impregnate you and that you only have my offspring, and I don't want it to be a chance that somebody else has their seed inside of you. I feel like it's just a bit of immaturity. And then religion came along, who don't have any type of like physical proof that they are real, because like I just want physical proof, and I'm begging life to show me physical proof, and like it's just silence all the time. So hats off to religion for like fully committing to the fight of like invisible, transparent truth. Like you're making it up, you have no proof, and yet it is facts, you know? And then so then religion has done this where they've said this is the law. And mind you, this has been like transposed and transposed throughout time, like translated and translated, then changed, then the language changes, then you update, then you update. I don't know what version of the Bible's out right now. Maybe it's like the version 1000, I don't know, even though they probably won't ever admit to that. They'll be like, no, it's version 5, not 1000. I always watch the movies and they're translating something Portuguese and I'm like, you didn't translate that properly. And it's like, who's in charge of that translation? Because that doesn't translate properly. And I always feel annoyed at translations when people translate Portuguese. Like, that's not what it means. Like, it means this. I don't know who was in charge of that. So if it can happen in movies, can you imagine? It happens everywhere. And then also, if I try to translate to you a song in Portuguese, it's just gonna sound like weird. Like, what? The flower did what? The flower is a purple of my heart? What? So religion, the audacity, respectfully, because it may bring people joy and it doesn't bring me joy, has kept on this fight of like what the rules are here. But what I don't like here about like this whole like sex before marriage is like the whole thing that comes with the concept of it, of like what the woman's position is, what the man's position is, and the man's always like the head of the house and the woman is always like the nurturer of the house. But I think that I have a problem with this just because of how it's been portrayed in the past, not because I don't believe in these roles, or maybe these roles are existent in certain humans and not all of the humans, like because I'm definitely a male and a female. I can do both roles like easily, the typical ones, right? And I've seen men that can't do the male role easily. They can't, they're scared, they're a bit bad at it, and yet we force these roles on people. So that's not even my problem. My problem is that why does the man then have to lead the woman? And that's what the vow said, like, you know, let the man lead the woman. You are my husband, lead me. And then you're gonna lead me in the bedroom, and you're gonna lead me to sex. And I feel like that's absolutely incorrect. And maybe it's become this way because the man is just easily turned on, like he can ejaculate easier than a woman, so then it's become his role to just like pursue because it's easier for him to come. And because the woman hasn't had freedom to explore what coming is for her, then she just allows it to be the man's position and the man's job to be in charge, because you're the one that seems to have it easier. You don't need to push a rock out of your vagina. You don't need to like cook and then look after all these children. You don't need to nurture all these children. All of the screaming, if you have like 4 kids that are like around the same age, and like the screaming and the constant nurturing and what do you call it when you like look over things and you like watch over them and you make sure that everything is going right, like that position is actually very stressful, especially with children. Because with adults it's quite easy. They're cognitive. You tell them something, they understand it, they hear it. With children, not so much. And so then you're in charge of all of this, and you're in charge of cleaning the house, which is like really like annoying. Like I hate cleaning. And you're in charge of cooking, which is like a whole like, what do I cook today? What do I cook tomorrow? Oh my gosh, I've already cooked today. What am I gonna cook for dinner? Like it's actually like so stressful. And then the male part, which I enjoy more, is like, because you're free from all of that, is just to go out. Anyways, but I think the modern view of like sex before marriage is actually just like safe sex versus sex before marriage. Because what's important is that, like, are you safe? Are you going to get a disease that's going to kill you? Are you going to get a disease that's going to like destroy your body? I think that that's the real conversation in modern times about sex and being safe with sex, rather than like this like sacred machine of mine that's only allowed to be touched by one man because it's too sacred. And then also, what if that one man is like not a good match? Then what? Then am I stuck with him forever? And what if his machine is just not meant for mine? Like, what have we done? Anyways, let's just get on with this video. God. And I feel like the safe sex thing, right? I feel like it's like really, we can really like modernize it. Like I have this screen on my phone where I had the STD testing, and then it has my results on this page, and I could share my results with people. It's so funny. At the top it has my name, like Nayna, and my surname, and then it has like all of the tests, and then it has my results per test. I feel like that's like amazing. And then it has the date that this test was confirmed. And then maybe that's what you should do when like you meet somebody, you like them, you should be like, right, let's agree that we're not gonna have sex with anybody else going forward, and we're gonna be exclusive, but we're not gonna have sex yet. And then you go get tested, I'll go get tested, and then we share our results, and then we'll let then ourselves be free as to when we want to take that next step. But the tests have been done, the agreement of we're not gonna have sex with other people has been done, and then hopefully you can trust people and they're honest enough to keep that agreement, so then you can have safe sex without being worried about getting STDs and stuff. Can I say something really controversial? I hate condoms. Not only do I hate condoms, I'm so sorry, I know this is so controversial. I feel like they're a bit disrespectful, because I just feel like the skin of a man's penis is like so beautiful and wonderful, and it's so like skin is beautiful, and then I've got to put plastic over that. Oops. And then the plastic stops me and that skin from touching. I feel like it's so disrespectful to my body for me to have sex with a penis covered in plastic. I know how this sounds to some people who are not on my wavelength. I thought I got impregnated by pre-cum, right? Because I was like, I had sex with Gabriel's dad one time, and I swear he didn't come, and it was just like, you know, whatever. And then I was pregnant, but then it turned out that he did come. So I just wonder, yeah, like, you know, people who say that you can get pregnant from pre-cum, like, is it because like they're too embarrassed to say that they come, and they come like quick or something? So then they're like, no, I didn't come. So you must have got pregnant by my pre-cum. Oh, I don't know. There's a better scientist who'll be like, no, Nayna, that's not how it works. I don't know. There's a big conversation about that, isn't there? About the sex and making babies and what that means and stuff. But I'm just saying there is a way to be safe and have sex with people. So I don't know why emotional connection is more important than sexual connection. And I think it's because that we've not yet begun to understand what actually happens when you sexually connect with somebody. Because like in the comments underneath this video, there's loads of people like kind of saying, no, but like sex is not that important, and there's more important things than sex, you know? And I feel like it's because like we're babies and we're not understanding the process of connection and relationship. And I'm a bit obsessed with an OCD about people being extremely happy, like 100%. And I do it with my son, and I don't know if it's a bit unhealthy because I don't have the means to make him happy, but I'm obsessed with making sure that he's happy at all times. So then I feel like a lot of humans don't have this. So for example, if you're unhappy in the bedroom, oh well. Or if you're unhappy with this dinner, oh well, eat the dinner. Like, okay, tomorrow hopefully you like the dinner. Me, I don't like that. If you're unhappy with the dinner, let's change it. If you're unhappy with this, let's change it. If you don't like this dinner, I'm never making it again. Like, I don't know why I have this, like, where I just believe that we should all have the best of everything. And I feel like a lot of humans don't think that way. So then if we have this security and we're friends and we care about each other and you know, we're loyal to each other, but we don't really like kissing each other, or we don't really like having sex. Like, that's good, let's keep at this. Whereas me, it's like, no, I want everything to be perfect. And I feel like a lot of people, they're willing to have, you know, 70% rather than 100% of something that is working, because you prioritize loyalty over satisfaction. And me, I would feel cheated if somebody's being loyal to me even though it's not satisfying them. I would feel like very hurt by that. Like, what? You're being loyal to me out of your own morals, but really your inner desire doesn't really want this. Your inner desire is calling for something different, but your loyal moral sense is keeping you loyal to me. And people are okay with that. They're okay with taking that from people. Like, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, give me loyalty. No, thank you. Because then you're not being real. And then also, I'm receiving something that's not real. I'm being fake, and I'm not being honest with myself about what I'm receiving from you. Or I'm okay with mediocre. Like, you really don't want to be here. And I haven't really spoken about these traumas that came from our childhood, but I have traumas everywhere about that. Like, you don't really want to be here. You're pretending to want to be here. Really, you really want that over there. And then the sad truth is that eventually you're going to go and get that, even if you lie to me about it. That's the ultimate heartbreak. Yes, a lot of people can keep up their loyalty towards you, but a lot of humans also cannot. So then they're going to go and get what really they want without telling you about it. So then they're going to have the marriage where they're not really satisfied, and then they're going to have what really satisfies them on the side without you knowing. And maybe the woman is really good at sacrificing, so she doesn't really do that. And then some women do. And maybe it depends on how much fear has been installed in a woman, that she's scared of fulfilling herself, and she's scared. And maybe the man is not so scared because he's taught to be a warrior, so then he goes and gets what he really wants. And then some women are born without fear, so then they go and get what they want. So you're not giving it to me here, okay, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna lie to you about it, and I'm still gonna get what I want. And that's what happens when you're dissatisfied. You eventually go and get what you want because your desires call it very strong. And some people are really good at suppressing their desires, and then some people are not. And then what happens with the people that are really good at suppressing their desires? They become a bit depressed, they become a bit unhappy, and so then you live this mediocre life where you agree to give this loyalty to each other when really it's not really sustaining any of your desires. And so then you either break apart and go and get your desires, or you stay connected and it becomes like a mediocre life instead of an expansive, explosive life. And this woman was saying that, like, because I feel like marriage was made for the sake of money. This type of like need to be safe this way, I think it's made because of money. You know, I have 4 kids and I don't know how to leave them here and go and get food for them or take them with me without them being in danger of all of the other predators or whatever. So then I'm not safe and I'm scared, and then I need another person to go and do that for us. And you know, that changed from that scenario into money, because now I don't have time to go and get money, so then I need somebody else to go and do it for us. So then the survival is the reason why we need partnering. And okay, that has happened, that's our history, and I don't know why that has happened. I feel like that's a really stupid design on the design part of life. Like, why would you design life to be that way? But now we're changing. Now we are more cognitive in the brain. Now we could create new worlds. Now we could create different things, and we're already doing that by providing people benefits and stuff, even though the benefits are not enough and people still struggle, but we have the bare minimum. And so then we've already started to change our society and what is needed for you to survive. And then this woman, who she has it all, right? She doesn't have children, but she has her finances and stuff. And she said that, like, oh, I don't want to turn 60 and be alone. So I do want to settle down with somebody, because I don't want to be alone when I'm, you know, getting old and stuff. And me, I don't have that vision. Like, if I'm alone at 60, I'll be like, okay. If I'm alone at 70, I'll be like, okay. Because I've lived alone so much that it's actually a little bit better. I like it. I like being alone. So then if I'm alone, okay. If I'm not alone, okay. Like, okay to both. Like, I'm not gonna fear being alone when I'm 60. And this is education again that people have put onto people. Like, oh, you're not allowed to be alone. Oh, you know, you're a bit of a loser if you end up 60 and alone. Oh, that's really sad. And for me, I've not had that education, and I like being alone, and I've created my own education. So when I turn 60, I don't have the same embarrassment of being alone. Not even a little bit. I'm not even lying. I don't have any embarrassment. So I feel like these are really outdated. The new education hasn't replaced it yet. Same with the sex thing and what sex means. The new education, the updated, correct education has not met the current times yet, and we're not allowing it to come freely either, and we're like holding on to the old ways that don't work anymore. And it's not just about like what, because I'm thinking some men will be like, yeah, but I'm not good at parenting, you're good at parenting, so then, you know, let's do what we're good at and let's stick with what we're good at. It's not just about what we're good at, it's about what do you want. Because I might be good at mothering, I might be good at taking care of this house, but do I want to be doing that 100% of the time? Absolutely not. So it doesn't matter that I'm good at this and that this should be my role. It's also about what do you want. And instead of us forcing, because that's probably what we do, is that we force people into these positions. Like, I know you're good at that, that's what you should do. And then the human is like not strong enough to think for itself and to understand what they're feeling. They just go along with it, and then they get stuck in these things. So where's the conversations? Where's the options? Where is the new plan of how things can look? And I really feel sorry for the connection between a kid and a male, because for the most part it's not even there. And when it is there, like, I feel sorry for men who get pushed aside because the woman thinks that she has more right and stuff, and then she's like, oh, go away to the man. Like, it's all just like a mess. Anyway, sex itself, I feel that there's much more for us to discover. Why did we make it bad? Why is it so exclusive? Why is it so precious? And maybe these things are true, right? Maybe sex in itself is a marriage, right? But we haven't come up with ways for us to understand that either. So yes, sex is a marriage in itself, but how are you gonna know which one to partner up with that's gonna go right, and you don't know, right? So then, and we haven't come up with ways to gauge that. Because why? Because we've made it bad, we've made it embarrassing. Let's not talk about sex. This woman that talks about sex, she was saying that, oh, it puts men off in her life, and I'm like, what? And also, who cares? Like, we need to talk about this, so let's talk about it. Let's create ways to know if you have real chemistry with somebody. Let's give lessons to people. How do you have sex? How do you push into a woman? How do you push into a man? How do you sit on top of a man and ride him comfortably? If you don't feel comfortable, and if your bones are doing things that you don't know how to do, what does that mean? What do you do then? Like, let's upgrade this education of sex. And also, isn't that gonna make men feel more confident? And we don't give enough importance into this like thing that nobody wants to talk about and that you have to save because it's so precious. And if it's so precious, why doesn't nobody know what to do with it? What's going on? And also, why people are not compatible in the end, and why we're not prioritizing that in marriage then. If it's so sacred and so special, why are you not prioritizing that? It's such a contradiction to say it's something sacred yet it's not as important as like emotional connection. And is that married couple who have saved themselves for marriage, do they even have education as to how to have sex and how to make it special? Or are they like leaving it up to chance that they have the chemistry? Because if we could make chemistry and we could build chemistry and we could influence chemistry, then where's the education for that? And you don't give that to newlywed parents, newlywed people, so then you're leaving it up to chance for them to like either have chemistry or not have chemistry. This world is like so behind on so many things, because chemistry is just a mind game. It's like, are you playing all of the games that my mind finds interesting? And if you are, then I'm going to get activated, and if you carry on doing it, then I'm going to have the highest activation. So if you play all of the cards right, then that makes me activated. And if I'm mature, then I need all of the mature cards, and then that's going to be more meaningful and more deeper. And if I'm immature, then I need all of the immature cards, and so then it's gonna be frivolous and quick. You know, a guy that needs to like watch two girls do it, and then it makes him come quicker, and then he'll be like, come on, kissing it, and then as soon as they kiss, it's like, yeah, that's what I need, and then he starts feeling the vibration come quicker, and now he's like coming and like, yeah, that's what I need. Like, it's all a mind game, but some mind games are immature, and then some mind games are mature, where it's based solely on what's going on between me and you, and is this special, and is this like emotional? So it's more about me and you rather than about something external that makes me come quick and that helps me come quick. Oh, I don't like that, even though that's exactly what porn does for me. Like, help me come quick, please. Okay, press play. Oh, it's done. I mean, it's getting more difficult as time goes on, because like I'm not finding any porn that's doing that so quickly anymore. I have to like keep helping myself in my head as well as watching, and it has to be a particular thing. Like, I'm into like oil massages at the moment in porn. God, let me close this video because I feel like I've gone on today, and I hope that I've made cognitive sense. I feel like sex is just as important as all other connections in relationships. I feel like that there's a beast inside of the body that craves to be sexual. It craves to have sexual desires. And if your beast is not awake when you're waiting to get married, to have sex, and then you get married and you still like, that beast is like, could be awakened at any time. And if it awakens and it doesn't get satisfied, then the problems begin. So you might as well acknowledge the beast that you have inside. I'm sorry that I'm calling it a beast. I should call it something else. the bomb. If you don't acknowledge this thing inside of you, then it's bound to become a problem if you're not paying attention to it. And there's a reason why the beast is there. I don't know about you, right? But I'm quite free. I'm quite analytical, right? I've been in love with somebody, laid down, hold their hand, stroke their hair, all of this lovey-dovey stuff, right? I've had that. I've had pure chemistry of wanting to just have somebody inside of you and wanting them to just put their penis inside of you, and you really like them and you want them, and it's just all this like chemistry. And I'm telling you, the sexual one is stronger. It feels stronger. It gets you a little bit more obsessed. Maybe people are scared of being obsessed with people. And I guess that chemistry of like sex and like that lovely sex that I'm talking about, my words are really bad today, I'm so sorry. Maybe that can fizzle out, but so can all of the lovey-dovey stuff. That can also fizzle out. Everything can fizzle out. So I don't know, guys, I'm just saying that we should give importance to all of it, to all of the connections in a relationship, not just the emotional, not just the money side, not just the parenting side, but the sexual side, the chemistry side, the kissing side, all of it, the mental side. We need to look at all of it if you're going to be marrying somebody. And actually, if I could advise you, I'd just say don't get married. Oops. Because why are you getting married? It's so outdated. Like, get married, what for? Because you might as well just have a party, like you do like a birthday party. And like every year when you guys decided to be together, you have a party, and then every year you tell each other how much like you love each other in front of everybody. Like, just have a party on your anniversary of when you decided to be together, and that could be the new modern marriage. Like, every year we're gonna throw a party for when we got together, and then we're gonna like dress up in all white, and we're gonna tell each other how much we love each other in front of everybody, and everyone's gonna cheer, and then we're gonna give everyone food. Like, you might as well do that, because that sounds more fun than like one day married, and then now you're just like married. Whatever. Okay, I don't get it, but whatever. Quote of the week for you today. I had to get my phone for this one because it was too long. Took a picture of the full moon. Not that Apple can ever do that properly. By not having sex before marriage, you are insisting on your right to take things seriously when many around you do not seem to. By reserving a part of you for someone else, you are insisting on your right to keep something sacred. So let me ask you, whoever wrote this, is words less sacred than sex? Because we don't reserve the right to hear words, do we? Because our ears are sacred, aren't they? Because we're receiving. So anything that we're receiving, the food that we receive, all of this is sacred. Yet, the only thing we talk about is the sex part. What about everything else? The words that you hear that create who you are, that create your thoughts and your ideas of yourself. This is sacred. So should we wait for the right person to hear the words? Or do we like just be free to exchange and then deal with it after you've exchanged to see, do I keep this, do I not? Is this good for me, is this not? I'm gonna try it, okay. And when we have enough education in place, then maybe we won't need to like trial things before knowing it, and maybe we can have a different way for trialing that doesn't necessarily burden us. Because if you have sex with somebody who burdens you in the end, then I guess that you don't want to do that, but we don't have another way to do it yet. And if there's another way, good, we create that way. But until then, we don't know until we try. So we have to try. Just like in conversation, you have to try have a conversation with somebody to see if they feed you or if they burden you. I'm telling you, it's just too much exaggeration. Reserve a part of you, then you insist on keeping something sacred. Like, it's such an exaggeration. Like, damn, like you get a lot of attention down there. Like, relax, maybe all of me is sacred, maybe all of life is sacred, not just my vagina. Maybe my tongue is sacred. Yeah, my tongue meets a lot of objects all the time, like food, lollipops, actually mostly just food. I've reached the 3rd video today. Like, damn, I've been talking a lot and sitting here in silence a lot. Relationships should be fully fulfilling, and you need to experiment to see what is for you and what is not for you. And don't be ashamed to do that. Don't let people shame you on doing that. Experiment, explore, and until you're fully fulfilled. Or let's just not take relationships so seriously. Let's just have like loads of them. And like you give me this and you give me that, and I'm gonna have relationships with all of you, and then that's how life is, and then I'm gonna get all of the things that I need, and I'm not going to limit myself with just you. There's more to expand on what relationships are. Okay, until next time, I hope my brain gets better, I hope I feel better, and I hope that my life changes. All right then, goodbye.